On today's episode, the Mexican government claims a new Tesla factory is coming soon. We got a sneak peek inside the new Megapack facility, including a look at the new Megapack 2 XL, and Tesla's price cuts score some Canadian incentives. After a couple of months of back and forth with the Mexican government, it looks like Tesla might be just about ready to announce their expansion into Central America. On February 2nd, Mexico's Foreign Affairs Minister Marcelo Ebrard mentioned during an interview that Tesla should be making an announcement about a new facility in the country very soon, saying, quote, "What I would think is that we're very close to having this announcement by Tesla, but I don't have an exact date yet. They will make their announcement, we can't announce it," end quote. And while we obviously shouldn't jump to any conclusions until we hear from Tesla, or at least Elon Musk's Twitter account, there is significant evidence that the EV company has had its eye on Mexico for some time now. This past year especially had its moments where we saw Tesla preparing to make inroads into Latin America. Earlier in 2022, Tesla hosted Samuel Garcia Sepulveda, the governor of Nuevo León, and some other Mexican ministers at Gigafactory. Then in October, CEO Elon Musk was invited to Nuevo León for a similar meeting. Nuevo León is an important area for Tesla because it shares a border with Texas. The local officials even put in a Tesla-exclusive customs gate on the border back in June 2022, likely in a further attempt to entice the EV maker to invest south of the border. And this definitely lines up with how Tesla operates. We saw the same back and forth with German officials in the run-up to Giga Berlin being chosen as the site for Gigafactory 4. Musk did a lot of similar legwork to get Giga Shanghai approved, visiting China several times in 2017 and 2018 to meet with officials. And now, as Elon is hunting around for a new Gigafactory site, we see him using the same playbook in other locations. All last year, Tesla was courting Indonesia for its nickel reserves. Around that same time, Elon was spotted in Canada meeting with some Ontario government officials, while hinting that the next Gigafactory would likely be in either Canada or Mexico. And Mexico is definitely working hard to get companies like Tesla to invest. One of the biggest issues with starting a large facility in Mexico is the unreliability of their power grid. Aside from any political factors that contribute to unstable grids, Mexico is in a place that routinely gets hit with extreme weather, tropical storms, extreme heat. Both those factors alone are enough to bring down power grids in the US and Canada. So Mexico has decided to do something about that. Much of northern Mexico is uninhabited desert, a perfect place for a solar farm. Project Sonara, named after the desert in Baja California, Mexico, where it's located, is a huge $1.6 billion solar project intended to support and stabilize the Mexican power grid. It is currently only about 10% finished, but once it's done in 2027, it will have an estimated 2 million solar panels, making it the largest solar park in Central America. The Mexican government wants Sonara to set an example for sustainable green energy, but also to entice companies like Tesla to feel comfortable about opening a facility in Mexico. So now, with Project Sonara looking to be hooked up to the grid in April this year, and the confirmation from the Mexican government that an announcement on a new Tesla facility in the country will come soon, most of us are thinking it's gotta be a new Gigafactory. There's even an active lithium mine in Sonara already, but is a Gigafactory the most likely facility for Tesla to build in Mexico? Starting a Gigafactory in a country like Mexico would be interesting, but with Giga Texas being relatively close to the border, would it make any sense to build a production facility right there? That exclusive customs lane we mentioned earlier is only about 4 hours away from Giga Texas. Then, there's a recent report from Reuters which discovered that as recently as January 31st, Tesla was looking to buy land near Mexico City's Benito Juarez Airport, a whole 11 hours away from Nuevo León. So, here's what we know. Mexico officials are putting in a lot of work to get companies, especially Tesla, to invest. They're building an expensive solar plant, they have an active lithium mine, and they've been making political overtures to Tesla's CEO. For Elon's part, he seems to have been planning this for at least a year or more, hinting via tweet and talking a lot about how valuable it is to secure lithium sources for battery production. Finally, Tesla is actively looking for land, just not where we expected. So, it could be that when Tesla announces their new facility, we'll hear that they are planning on building a whole new Gigafactory. That's definitely not out of the question, and it would make a good deal of sense. But it's also possible that we might see some sort of specialized facility, maybe even a Tesla-owned battery production plant with land near the Mexico City airport. It would be very convenient to produce parts and ship them to Tesla's American plants for use. As usual, it's best to be patient and wait, but it definitely looks like we won't have to sit long before Tesla reveals what their plans are for Mexico. On February 3rd, Tesla fans were treated to a video showcase of the company's new Megapack factory in Lathrop, California. The video posted on their Twitter account shows off what Tesla boasts is the largest utility-scale battery factory in North America. We get a peek at the main production line, capable of putting out 1 Megapack unit every 68 minutes. That's 10,000 a year from just Lathrop. Megapacks are also still being produced at Giga Nevada, but it's clear Tesla wants to lean on their shiny new Megapack factory, especially because there's a new model of Megapack. The majority of the showcase highlighted the new Megapack 2 XL units, a bigger, cheaper version of what was internally referred to as the MP1 models. The new Megapacks are specifically designed to make scaling production easier by using parts already sourced for Tesla vehicles, specifically the thermal components, but also prismatic LFP cells that are provided by battery partner CATL and are currently used in the base Model 3. This cross-use of parts improves the efficiency of production times and makes use of products that Tesla is not only familiar with, but knows will work. The use of LFP cells is also why the larger Megapack XL is technically cheaper to produce. These lithium iron or ferrous phosphate cells don't contain any expensive materials common to other battery types like cobalt. Aside from that, the Megapack 2 XL continues the robust design of its predecessor, with its internals kept neat and compartmentalized to allow for customizability and to reduce any risk of fire spreading to a whole pack or jumping to neighboring units, while also allowing for simple installation on site. This is the sort of functionality that's making Megapacks so popular in energy storage projects around the world. Because it's not just that Megapacks are tough and don't require much maintenance, but they're safe and it's easy to add or subtract units from a facility. Tesla's Lathrop facility will be coming fully online over the course of the year as the company seeks to fulfill a growing list of orders for new Megapack facilities around the world. It's likely that they won't hit that 10,000 unit per year mark for a bit yet, as the technicians are still getting used to their new work area and production procedures do take time to develop. But once the Megapack factory gets into the rhythm of work, it shouldn't be long until we see something close to those numbers. The video boasts that 10,000 units is about 40 gigawatt hours of storage capacity added to the world's power grids per year, enough to replace 50 200 megawatt fossil fuel plants. Even if they can only commit to half of those numbers, that's still an incredible contribution to ending the world's reliance on oil and gas. Megapack just might be Tesla's most important project. Tesla has made a bold move in Canada, cutting prices on their vehicle line for the northern country by as much as 21% in order to hit the threshold for some pivotal government incentives. Tesla has been really focusing on the Americas over the last year, as planning for new facilities, hiring, and lobbying of governments seems to have been focused in the US, Mexico, and Canada for most of 2022 and onwards. The biggest reason for the push is that all three of these countries are committing to projects and legislation that offers incentives to green energy companies, especially electric vehicle manufacturers. The most notable of these is the American Inflation Reduction Act, which represents one of the largest investments in green infrastructure on the continent. Canada's got its own array of green energy programs, of course, and the one Tesla was trying to qualify for was the IZEV incentive, a program that offers some relief to the buyer when purchasing a new electric vehicle that meets all of Canada's criteria. It also gives some nice tax write-offs for the businesses that sell EVs, which is what Tesla wants from this deal. There are a couple of incentive ranges in the IZEV, and of course, Tesla wanted to get their Model 3 on the most strict one, the $5,000 bracket. All of Tesla's vehicles meet the requirements for the $5,000 incentive bracket. They're all battery electric and have a range greater than 50 kilometers on a charge. They also meet Canada's motor vehicle safety standards and are able to drive on highways. What Tesla needed to do was make sure that the Model 3 had a base suggested retail price of less than $55,000 Canadian. These price cuts do that just barely. If you go to buy a Tesla off the site now, you'll see that a bare-bones rear-wheel drive Model 3 comes in at $54,990 Canadian before all the other fees for transportation and taxes are added. This means that people buying that Model 3 will get $5,000 off their new car, and Tesla will get a nice tax break. But while the Model 3 is the only vehicle in Tesla's lineup that now qualifies for the IZEV, it's not the only one that got price cuts. The Model Y, Model S, and Model X all saw price cuts for their variants ranging from 10% to 21%. Those are some pretty big cuts, but it looks like Tesla's doing this basically everywhere. China saw some cuts around New Year's, and there have been some big cuts to the vehicles in the American market too. It's clear that at least for the Model 3, the price cut was to score that tax break from the incentive program. But given that we know Tesla has a huge year ahead of them in terms of production and new models and new facilities, this seems like a pretty savvy move to boost sales so they can support all this growth. Whatever the reason, if you ever wanted a Tesla, now would be the best time to grab one. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up today if you liked it. That is so important for getting our content out to more people. If you enjoy the content, then you'd probably also enjoy our weekly newsletter, so sign up with the link down below at theteslaspace.com. A huge thank you to all of our Patreon supporters who are listed on the screen now. You help us make the best content we can, and we really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.